A Memorial Day ceremony took place today at Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery. It specifically honored and remembered those who were prisoners of war and those who went missing in action. It was the continuation of a long tradition.
Today is the day that we remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
This was the 26th year that a ceremony was held at Jefferson Barracks to specifically honor fallen service members who were prisoners of war, as well as those who were missing in action.
We were honoring and remembering these military personnel that gave the ultimate sacrifice for their country.
Gold Star families were also remembered for their sacrifices.
The tragedy is not that you've died for your country, it's to be forgotten. And we're here to make sure they're not forgotten.
Those participating in the ceremony placed wreaths at a mass grave for World War II POWs and the grave of Air Force Lieutenant Michael Blassie, who was considered an unknown soldier at Arlington Cemetery till his remains were identified in 1998 and buried at Jefferson Barracks. And a wreath was placed at the grave of a World War II Medal of Honor recipient.
It is just amazing the amount of support, honor, respect that our nation does afford the military veterans is something that's special and needs to always be part of our DNA.
Service members who were graduates of the U.S. Federal Service Academies, as well as members of veteran service organizations, took part in today's ceremony.
If you want to know the sacrifices and what went into making this country, come down and just take a look.
And if you would like to pay your respect to those who gave it all, there are multiple Memorial Day events on Monday. The City of Manchester will have its remembrance service at the Veterans Memorial at Stoker Park on Monday at 10 a.m. Also at 10 is the Soldiers Memorial Service, which takes place downtown St. Louis. And in St. Charles County, you're invited to a service at Veterans Tribute Park at 1 p.m.